What up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Fitness Tech Reviews, we have this year's Galaxy Watch 5 Pro versus last year's Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. These are their two top of the line from each one of the years, but really let's get into what they are similar with, what they are different with, and in the end, which one is going to be best for you and should you upgrade. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, you guys know the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is currently about $450, while the Galaxy 4 Classic is around $300, but you can get it on sale for even as low as $250. There are some sales with the Watch 5 Pro, so $150 is not cheap. Is this 5 worth that extra $150? The similarities, there are many. So I'm going to be mostly speaking about the 46mm on the 4 Classic. There is also a 42mm, but so for a smaller size, but we're going to be talking about the 46mm. The Galaxy 4 does come in with a 1.4-inch Super AMOLED display, where the 5 Pro comes in at 1.36. You're really not going to see the difference in size. They're both bright and vibrant. They both are running the Exynos W920 chip, so they both have the same chipset, also with 1.5 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of internal storage, so there's no differences between all of that, running Wear OS. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy with that. The 5 is running 4.5 Wear OS, where the 4 Classic is currently running the 3. There will be an update to 4.5 soon though. They both are IP68 water resistant. They both have GPS. They both have NFC payment. They both have Bluetooth, with the 5 coming with Bluetooth 5.2. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but they pretty much have the same exact sensors, but we'll get into sensors as we get into the differences. They are using the same apps on your phone, Samsung Health and the Galaxy Wearable, to be able to customize it. And they also can use the same replaceable 20mm bands, interchangeable between the two. They have the same button set, so they have a red top button and they have a bottom right button. So really there is no difference within the buttons. And they both do have Google Assistant. It did take the Watch 4 a little bit to get it, but it does finally have Google Assistant. They also have Google Pay as well. Now let's get into these differences. The most obvious one is they did take away this beautiful rotating bezel that I loved so much on the 4. I was disappointed, and my baby was as well. She always played with it, and when I got the new watch, she tried to play with it and was very confused. But talking about that, when I really thought about it, I didn't really use it that much. You do have a digital bezel. You kind of have to press up at the top and then rotate around. It's not a perfect implementation, but at the end of the day, I feel like I didn't miss it that much. The glass, there is a sapphire glass that they say is 2 times stronger than the 4's glass. When talking about that in use case, I used my 4 daily and I never had any troubles. Of course, it is inlaid behind the rotating bezel, so I never had any troubles with scratches or anything like that. It's also inlaid behind this raised bezel on the 5 Pro, so it is very secure, especially if you're doing like rock climbing and stuff like that. I would probably prefer the 5 Pro just because it has the better glass, and it's just a lot more sturdy with the titanium build. The 4 is aluminum, where you are going to have a titanium build on the 5 Pro. 5 Pro does have a skin temperature sensor that is not currently active, and to be perfectly honest, the only real implementation is going to be for menstrual cycle tracking for women. It's really not going to give that great of tracking for like sleep and body temperature, as of course your arm will be under covers. Sometimes it won't be under covers. They say it will be implemented later, but it is currently not being used. The other thing, it does have pretty much the same sensors on the bottom, but the 5 they say goes a little bit more into their skin with a little bit more of a convex type build, where it's a little bit more flush to the watch on the 4. Did I see any real difference in my testing? Not really. Check out Quantified Scientist. He goes into a lot of depth. I'll put him down below, but they do say it is a little bit more accurate. With that, you are going to see a little bit of a bigger watch with the 5, as it is going to be a little bit farther away from the skin, and it's also going to be a little bit heavier as well. I do have relatively small wrists as is, and I'll be showing you how it looks on both of my wrists in the B-roll. But as far as the weight is concerned, yes, it is a tad bit heavier, but I didn't really feel too much of a difference in my workout. Other sensors, like the bioimpedance sensor for body fat percentage, they say it is faster on the 5 Pro, and I did see a little bit faster, but they're both equally as accurate as either one, so you won't see a difference with the accuracy. Now getting in, the biggest difference between the two is going to be battery life. The 5 is coming in with 590 milliamp hours, where the 4 Classic is coming in at 361. Those extra milliamp hours go a long way to help with battery life. They say you can get up to 80 hours on the 5 Pro, where you can get up to 40 hours on the 4 Classic. So that is a big difference. With my testing, I saw that, and even a lot of people commenting on my previous video, they got a lot of great battery life with it. And talking about that, you will get a new charging puck as well. The old one was a 5-watt charger, so it was relatively slow. The new one is 10 watts, so you can go to the bathroom and take a shower and get a good amount of battery life back. With the old 4 Classic, you really couldn't get that big of a battery life improvement, even if you're doing the same exact thing. So I didn't do any sleep tracking, and I couldn't even recommend sleep tracking with the 4 Classic. With the 5 Pro, if you are charging here and there, you can get sleep tracking and be able to keep the watch going pretty much indefinitely as long as you have a good charging schedule. So if you are looking to get sleep tracking in, I would consider the Pro over the 4 Classic just because of the battery life and how fast it charges. Talking about that charging brick, the standard watch band it comes with is this band that is magnetic, and it's kind of tough to be able to put it on there and put it on the ground, so there was people complaining about that. I would recommend, if you are buying it, to get this athletic band. It's on Samsung's website, but if you are looking to go with more of a fabric band, Samsung has their own, which is about 35-40 bucks. But I'll link this band that I used for a year on my 4 Classic that I really liked. As far as fitness and sleep tracking is concerned, they're going to be pretty much the same across the board, but you do get GPX files on the Galaxy 5 that you can go ahead and load onto the app. So if you want to go on trail runs or anything like that, you can upload these GPX files. You can also send them to other people to do as well. So that's great. And you'll also be doing a track back feature. So if you are going hiking and you have it on, hit track back, it'll send you back to where you started your run or hike, where you will not get that on the 4. There is also a sleep coach on the 5 that you aren't going to be getting on the 4. They say it's a more advanced sleep coach. And again, since I would actually recommend sleeping with this watch, it's because of its battery life, that's a big bonus, where I really wouldn't really recommend doing any sleep tracking because of how bad the battery is on the 4 Classic. So what are my overall thoughts and recommendations between these two bands? First thing, if you are thinking about upgrading between the 4 Classic and the 5 Pro, stick with the 4 Classic. This is a great band. The only real reason I feel like you should do the upgrade, if you are looking to get that sleep tracking, if you are going to go on long runs, GPS, you're going to get 20 hours of GPS connectivity. We only get about 10 hours on the Classic, so really close. Can't really run a marathon or anything like that where you can on the 5 Pro. But in general, if you're thinking about it between these two, if you do a lot of rock climbing, if you do a lot of hiking, if you do things where you feel like your band might hit something and break the screen, go with the 5 Pro. You're gonna be much happier as it is tougher, 2 times stronger glass with a little bit more inlaid. And even though as much as I love that rotating bezel on the 4, it's also something that can break, where the 5 Pro is gonna be more durable. Also, if you're looking for something that is doing sleep tracking, go with the 5 Pro. This is going to do great sleep tracking with that 10-watt charger. You can pretty much use it perpetually if you do have a good charging schedule. But pretty much any other use case, I would just go with the 4 Classic. If you're just going to be charging it at night, it's still going to have great battery life that can last you the entire day. They have the same operating system, pretty much the same fitness functionality as well. And to be perfectly honest, the 4 Classic is a lot more watch-like, and it will look a little bit better when you are trying to dress it up. Well, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, please smash that like button. It was really helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first ones to know when my newest video comes out. If you're looking to buy either one of these bands or the actual fabric band that I recommend in the video, I will link all that down below, shoot you to Amazon, and a little bit of that purchase is going to help me grow my channel. But as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.